Hey everyone, and welcome back for week 12 of building Eric Kit and Lego. So I know it's been 4 months since the last update video on August 14th. A lot has changed since then, so let me give you guys a quick rundown of what has happened since then. So I came home during Thanksgiving, which was towards the end of November, and I didn't work on the mock at all, but I was staring at it and I realized, so in the original plans I had the mock size be 3x3 gray base plates, and I realized while I was staring at it that if I continued and tried to build it to 3x3 gray base plates, I wouldn't have it done in time for next year's Brick Rodeo convention, which is earlier in the summer. And so I decided to shrink the mock down to 2x2 gray base plates instead of 3x3 gray base plates. That's kind of a drastic change, but I'm not going to be restarting from scratch. In fact, I kind of have a lot of it already built. Some of the walls, some of the landscaping, the laying pad, and the scout tower. I'm just going to have to relocate them into different areas of the mock. So I'm not going to destroy them completely. So in a way, I already have like a head start. And so that's why this update video is titled Revision. So in this segment, I'm going to be showing the revised plans for this mock, as well as start relocating some of the buildings that I already have built, mainly the landing pad. I mentioned in previous segments over the summer that I was leaving for school and that I would try to get some progress done while I was there, mainly on my computer through Studio or stud.io. And I actually made quite a lot of progress. I fully designed the Imperial turret, which will be in this mock, and I'll explain all that later on in this video. But I did fully design it, and I placed a huge Brick League order that has all the parts to build one of those turrets, plus more landscaping parts. And in this segment, I'm still waiting on a few more orders, so hopefully by next week's update video, all the parts will be here. So without any further delay, let's jump right into this week's update. So as you can see, these are the revised plans that I have for this mock. And sorry for the weird camera angle, I just want to get a full shot of the revised plans. And so as you can see, this looks very similar to my original mock plans, but instead of a 3x3 square grid, it is now a 2x2 square grid. So I guess to start off, you can already tell this huge landing pad that's going to cover this corner of the mock, and I plan for this to take up the entire base plate except for the edges. The edges will be walls, and I'm still going to have it to where it looks like it's cut out from the actual planet. I'm still going to have that effect, but I just don't show it here. I just show the wall border. And so I guess the walls will cover 3/4 of the mock, except for this base plate. This base plate won't have any walls, so it's going to go all the way around here, and also go in between this base plate and this base plate right over here. But it's not going to come all the way down because I'm going to accommodate for an Imperial turret that'll go right there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So a turret will be here and also right over here. So these X's are scout towers. I'm only going to have one scout tower, but I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it. I can either keep it in its original position right here in this corner, or I can move it to the center of this base plate. So I'm still trying to figure out where I want to put the Imperial Scout Tower, but right now, or as of right now, it is in its current position, which is right here in this corner. So I know these plans kind of look pretty empty. I'm still trying to figure out what buildings I want to include, like a shield generator, or the barracks, or a small scale factory, or even more defenses. I'm still trying to figure out what other buildings I want to include, but I think this is a pretty good start, and I can go ahead and start revising this mock. As I continue building, I'm going to try and think of what more I can include, because I definitely want to include at least 2 more buildings. Overall, I really like these revised plans. Again, I really want to have this mock done for Brick Rodeo next year, and I know that if I continue to build it 3x3 gray base plates, I just wouldn't have it done in time for next year's convention. So I think shrinking it to 2x2 gray base plates is for the better. And I think it'll still look really good because I am keeping what I already have built. The landing pad, some of the walls, and the scout tower. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and see the mock. So here's the majority of the progress I was able to make towards the end of August before I left for college. And I actually started working on a little bit of this side of the mock during the end of November when it was my Thanksgiving break. I came home and I was staring at this MOC, and I realized if I continued to build it to 3x3 grade base plates, I just wouldn't have this MOC done in time for Brick Rodeo next year. And so that's when I decided to shrink this MOC to 2x2 grade base plates. And what I started doing is working on this coral border that's going to go all the way around the MOC. I wasn't able to finish on this side only because I ran out of these 1x6 coral bricks. And as you can see, here's a blue brick that I got at Brick Rodeo. So I wasn't able to finish the coral border because I ran out of these 1x6 bricks. But that shouldn't be too big of an issue. I'm not worried about finishing that for this segment. So what I'm going to start doing is moving this landing pad to this base plate over here, because like I showed you guys in the plans a few moments ago, this landing pad is going to be on the top left corner base plate. And so this will actually make it easier to transport, because if I continued with my original plans of 3x3 grade base plates, I would have 2 landing pads, and this landing pad is already covering all 4 of these base plates. It's mainly on this one, and it's stretched a little bit on that one, and then just a tiny bit on these 2, because like the middle of these 4 base plates, it's somewhere like on this line right here. And so hopefully when I move it here, it'll only cover 1 base plate. Hopefully it doesn't go over to this one or even this one right over here. It may cross this one, this corner base plate just a little bit, but that's not too big a deal. If that happens, then it'll still be easier to transport this MOC, because then these 2 base plates will be connected and then these 2 can separate, so that's not a huge deal. So what I am going to do now is move this landing pad, rotate it so that way it's facing this side, and then move it up to that base plate over there. Hopefully the process goes smoothly. I will gonna have to take all the lights out and take it apart just a little bit, but hopefully not drastically. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. And here it is, the landing pad is in its final position. This took about 1.5 to 2 hours, mainly because I tried my best not to destroy it all when I was trying to move it upwards, because a lot of the edges were stuck to the plates fairly well. There was a strong connection there, and what ended up happening is it would just break. So I basically just had to rebuild all the edges, which took forever because there was a lot of aligning to do with a lot of jumpers. But luckily the top portion remained intact. That was easy to take off. But for the most part, the landing pad I would say is 95% complete. I am going to make just a few more edits to it before I add the lights, because as you can see, I took off the lights on this section and also these 2 sections over there. And the lights are actually over here. Everything is still connected, so I can turn the switch on and you can see the bulbs light up. And those lights over there are connected to the rotating sequence effects board. So I am going to make a few more edits to there before I add the lights to make this landing pad fully complete. What's great about this layout is even if I didn't move the landing pad and just resized it down to 2x2 grade base plates, it would still be connected to all 4 base plates, which means it would have been really hard to transport. And I really wanted this MOC to be modular, so I'm very happy that it is more modular. What's great is it's only connected to this base plate, so these 2 base plates are connected, but what that means is these 2 are not, so I can still move it. These 2 are still connected over here with the ComicBrix and that pin in the middle, but I can just take those apart easily. So I'm very happy with how this new layout is even more modular and even more easier to transport down the line. So I'm very, very happy about that. And as you can see over there are some Bricklink orders that came. Like I mentioned in the beginning, in the intro of this video, I made a huge Bricklink order from 8 sellers, and I'm still waiting on I think 3 more orders from 3 different sellers. Most of the landscaping parts that I ordered are here, so I can finally start working more on the landscaping. I ordered a lot of more coral pieces, as well as some reddish brown pieces to create some rock work that'll go all around the landscaping. So I'm going to continue to work on the landscaping around the landing pad on this base plate, because I think I can get a lot done, because the landing pad covers the majority of this base plate right over here. And before I do want to mention that in the time lapse earlier, it wasn't able to go all the way only because the battery ran out, and so my camera died on me. And as I was charging the battery, I didn't want to wait to work more on the landing pad, so I was just like, screw it, I'll just go ahead and finish relocating the landing pad to its final position. But I did make a time lapse of me working on more of these walls. I got 4 done, as well as 3, as you can see 4, but I took 1 off here. But I worked on 3 of like the side, or like the walls that go in between the main pyramid structures. And so I'm actually running really low on these 1x1 translucent red plates. So I'm gonna have to place an order for those to continue working on more walls. That's not that big of an issue right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and sort a lot of these landscaping parts you see over there and continue working on the landscaping on this base plate. So during that time lapse, I was able to work more on the coral landscaping on this section of the base plate and just covering up the front edge of the landing pad with coral landscaping. I am running low on some coral pieces. Like I said, I'm waiting on a few more Bricklink orders to come because those have a lot of coral pieces. So I was just experimenting with the landscape, similar to what the landscape looks like over there near that scout tower. And so I tried somewhat replicating that over here, but once I get a few more of different coral pieces, I could be able to make the landscaping more random, more sporadic, and just overall make it look like a natural landscape. But I really love this coral color, and I think when this mock is covered in coral, it will look really good. And also I was able to start working on the walls on this corner of the mock. I had to take 1 or 2 walls from that side just to put over here just to see what it'll look like. And I really like the spacing of the walls and the landing pad. Overall, I'm really happy with my new layout for this mock, and I'm excited to continue working on it. Hopefully during my winter break I can get a whole lot done, maybe even like half of the mock, or like even a 1/4 I would be happy with. So this is all the progress I was able to get done in this week's segment. Let's go on to the end of this video. So this is going to conclude week 12 of building AirKit and Lego. I'm super happy with the progress I was able to make in this week's update video. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this mock. Hopefully all the parts will come in for next week's update video so I can get a whole lot done in terms of landscaping and the Imperial turret, which I'm super excited to start building. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what I do, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell icon so you won't miss out on any future videos, and I'll see y'all in the next video.